Hey guys, Mike here. So we got a jam-packed video for you, and I'm going to show you in this video what the power of a tweet can do. And if you want to bring down small caps or high beta stuff, this is the quickest way to do it, or crypto for that matter. And so I'll show you that. We'll go over the manufacturing data, which still sucks, by the way. We'll show you where big money's still rolling into, which is kind of surprising. Also, more importantly, a better way, I think personally, or one way, it's very simple, you can do it on your phone, to track rotation, right? Because what are we looking for? Are they going to rotate into the Mag 7 or not? I'm going to show you a simple way to actually do that, and you can just look at it and go, oh, okay, that makes more sense now. And so we'll go into all that right now. But first, obviously, you guys have a lot of questions about this. Yes, it is the Black Friday sale. Yes, below this, you can't see it, but you just click on a button, will show everyone you want, and you can renew using that. It extends out your renewal date, okay? So, and then Saturday, somebody had asked me, could you just like go through the different plans? I don't know what I need because all I'm doing is my long-term portfolio, stuff like that. Maybe I don't need a lot of alerts, so I will go through each plan because I've been in each one of them, and you may not need it. I always tell anybody, if you're just doing your long-term portfolio and you got 10 to 20 stocks, I don't really think you need the top tier, but we'll go through it and you just kind of, and I'll show you because you may think, well, I don't need that many alerts, and all of a sudden you go, wow, moving averages and trend lines and this, that, and the other, then it adds up. But we'll see, usually that middle tier works out very well for people. So again, I'll talk about Saturday. Please put your questions in the comments that I'll put in Saturday's video. And yes, there will be a Saturday's video. It's one of my favorites to do for you guys. Now, when you look at the manufacturing data, I always like to keep you updated that it still sucks, by the way, still in contraction. Contraction means below zero. So this is Richmond manufacturing data, and you see both of those are in contraction. Dallas Fed manufacturing data, not as bad. I mean, -2 and then 4.9. So, when it comes to employee stuff, not bad. When it comes to everything else, like orders and stuff like that, not good. But what they're looking at and see like, hey, maybe in this area we're getting a turn up, right? Maybe that's what's happening right here. So again, we'll see if that's the case or not. Let me know what you think in the comments. Now, as far as weekly fund flows, again, this is a week behind. This is last week. You can see consumer cyclicals, boy, 7 billion. They took away from the large caps. Large caps still got around 9 billion. That's a safe haven. A little bit in investment grade bonds, a little bit in mid cap, a little bit in the broader equities. But definitely cyclicals definitely got love last week. Now, looking at SPY, what are we seeing here? 2 days here we've had open in the Thanksgiving week, and we had 2 new all-time highs. Scraped it out at the end of the day, as you can see, when they just ran the gamma up like crazy from like 2 on. And so, where's it going to go? We're in price discovery now. We have to see. But maybe after Thanksgiving, maybe we get some kind of slight pullback before we get that final ramp up. We just got to see if there's going to be a rotation, or is how all the high beta stuff, the usual names we've been seeing push, going to continue to push, and then some love's going to be coming into your bigger stocks, your heavier weighted stocks, that makes it easier to move up the indexes. Okay, QQQ, you can see, and maybe this is it. We talked about this when it happened. Barely missed filling that gap, but it has touched 3 different times off the ascending trend line, which has been support for quite a while. And what do you see? Maybe they're going to wedge it, right? Let's see what happens tomorrow. See if we break out on Wednesday, because we only got a half day Friday, closed on Thursday. Because remember, the Qs lagged the SPY once before, and then it caught up, and it caught up in a big way. The Qs are lagging again because the Mag 7. That's the reason why it's lagging, okay? IWM is not lagging because of all these low float, easy to squeeze stocks are just pushing up like crazy. And that's why you see that huge move up in this one right here. It went red today. I'll show you why it went red. One is profit taking. I mean, I covered this in the members video, and you just see some of these stocks have literally been squeezed 200-300% in like a week or something. So it's absolutely nuts. But, looking at this one, again, filled this gap to the penny. So that is a good thing. It's closed below that trend line right there. But again, all-time highs right above us. Maybe we come down, get even a more breather. Let's see if people are going to start profit taking. That's the problem with IWMs. It's moved up so much, and some of these stocks are so squeezed so high right now that people might want to take profits. Okay, so you just got to watch and see on that one. And again, the thing that's helping it or hurting it today was the 10-year yield, right? 10-year yield did pop again. If it comes up that trend line, you're going to see IWM go down more. If it does not, and it just hangs out or goes lower, then IWM is going to probably continue to sideways or up for sure. But if you wonder why I took a dump last night, that's the futures, that is. It was because President Trump put this out last night at 6:35. Remember that time? And he's talking about he's going to put 25% tariffs on Canadian and Mexican goods, extra 10% on Chinese stocks, and he had his reasons why. And again, immediately at 6:35, 10-year yield pops, and RTY, which tracks IWM as the futures for it, dumps 1.5%. You can see the Jaws effect, right, all day. And so when you saw the 10-year pumping today, some data would come out or whatever, maybe it was stronger than it's supposed to be. Fed president said something. You see IWM dumping another 1.3%, but ended up about 0.7, I think, for the day. And so it's profit taking, it's the 10-year yield, it's what they're using that excuse of the tweet to take the profits or say that's what it is. But again, it's a high flying stuff, right? Now, one thing to pay attention to is MAGs, right? So this is the Round Hill Magnificent 7. It has Tesla and all the other Mag 6 in it. You can see what's it doing. It's just wedged right now. Looks like it wants to break out. Let's compare it to the SPY, okay? And you can see why the SPY is outdoing the Qs, okay? Because it hasn't been. Here you can see it. But lately, what have you been seeing? Nothing out of it. Because NVIDIA's been going down, Microsoft doing nothing, which we'll talk about that one, by the way. Apple's been doing pretty decent. Tesla's been doing really good, obviously. But the rest of them, and Meta and all them, no. Okay? And so you can literally, I'm telling you right now, as soon as you do this a lot, but you can look on this thing. I'm just going to do this real quick. You can see how this thing ends up comparing to the SPY. If it breaks that trend line, obviously SPY is outperforming it. If it's going up, that means it's outperforming the SPY, which means I guarantee the Qs are probably doing really well when that happens, okay? And you can see right here, this is the greatest one, right? Because it just opened, I think it was end of 2023, that's right. But when this thing broke out and started outperforming the SPY, this is when the Mag 7 were going crazy, and you knew, it was just a good year for the Mag 7 right there, going up like crazy. And then, of course, in July, it dumped and stuff like that. But just because it's going down doesn't mean it isn't going up, the Mag 7 stocks. It just means when it's sideways, things like that, it's not outperforming the SPY, because the SPY is the market. So that means more sectors are outperforming this, right? And so, when you look at this, here's a nice trend line put on it and say it's a ratio, right? Maybe we come down and touch that. Maybe we turn up from here. The reason why we might turn up from here, because when you look at this chart, at least when I look at it, I look at what it's actually been doing, and when this ratio moves up, normally it comes down, tests that level right there, comes down, tests that level, gets another bounce, come down, now it's at this level. So does it bounce? And if it starts to move, especially if it starts to get a really good move, that means the Mag 7, most likely, the majority of them at least, especially Microsoft, Apple, NVIDIA, the three heaviest weighted ones, are starting to move, starting to get some life into them, starting to get some rotation into them. I can't remember a December rally. We did it without the big boys. Maybe you can remember one, but without them, it's tough to really have those big moves. Right now, you've had Tesla, right? You end up having Apple, which that's a heavyweight one, but the rest of them are just going sideways and not really doing much, right? And so that's what we're going to have to see, but that's how you can track and say, okay, is there a rotation into these? Again, Microsoft showed you the chart yesterday. Look at it. Boom. Explosive move up. Big day for Microsoft. Somebody was rotating into that thing, right? Now it's at the previous level right there, starting to get some resistance. Again, this one's down from its all-time high by 12% since the election. Has come back a little bit, right? But still down like 9% from all-time highs when you see all this other stuff setting all-time highs. So looking at that trend line right there, has 3 touches already. So if it can get above 431.56, then 433, we could be cooking with some Crisco. Okay, that's what you used to say in Alabama, at least. They used to cook everything with Crisco back in the day. I don't know if they still do it, but that's what I'm looking at. You look at Google right here. Again, scared from the DOJ stuff. But what we talked about came into this trend line right here, which was resistance and turned into support. Now resistance again. But when you look, we'll pull the 200 up. What happened? It bounced off the 200 moving average. Okay, they use news to move stuff down. It bounced and is held since then. So about 4%. But it has to get through here. So if it can get through, which you want to see here, is to mitigate this daily fair value gap, come down and turn resistance into support once again. Okay, resistance, 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 kind of support, broke down, now resistance again. So you want to see a resistance support flip on this one. If that happens, guess what? It's a heavyweighted stock. It's going to start moving up the Qs more than the SPY. Then you go over here, you got Meta. It's sitting on the 50, right? It's got rejected twice from the 59. I'm just going to take that away. And again, it's either going to get its rejection from here and we're going to roll over and start heading back down to 542.20 or somewhere in that neighborhood, or we're finally going to break above this. And you had a triple top rejection right there, and it's going to head back up to 602. All right, so that will be 3 if that happens. Again, that 200 looks beautiful along with that ascending trend line. That would be nice. Just don't know if we're going to get it. If we have some kind of pullback early December, Amazon, what we talk about, Black Friday, does well during Black Friday week. And so far it's moving up. It's moving up in this gap. So the question is, can we get another push to end this week? Get up around, I believe it's 210, 211 right there. Closes that gap. I expect to move back down after that, to come back, maybe back down to 208, and then move back up to all-time highs if that is the case. If not, get ready for 200 once again. Okay. Now, NVIDIA, hanging on to this 50, hanging on to support right here. Okay. If that breaks down, obviously we're going lower. Look for anywhere from, I don't know, 130, 134. But boy, I know a lot of people would love for it to hit that 200. Wouldn't that be amazing? I don't know if that's going to happen. That would be a huge drop. But it needs to regain, whether you're doing the 20 SMA, the 21 EMA, whichever one you're doing, needs to get back above that. Need to get momentum back into this thing, right? The momentum indicators on the daily is like, not really nothing going on. You look on the weekly, again, bearish cross on the weekly right there, working on a bearish MACD cross. You just got to see momentum turn back up. What's that means? You got to see the options market start getting behind this again. You've seen the option market kind of flow out of Tesla, and it's kind of stuck in a range, right? So you need to get them back going in NVIDIA and Tesla. The problem is they rarely move at the same time, right? Now, looking at what's going on tomorrow, huge news day, right? So preliminary GDP, unemployment claims for the bell opens, a bunch of other stuff. Then you got core PCE price index, pending home sales, personal income, personal spending, natural gas, crude oil inventories. FOMC minutes got moved up to today. Okay, and so that's what happened there. And when it happened, the odds of a rate cut in December actually went up from like 53, I believe, to like 62 or something like that. But it went up like double digits % for a rate cut in December. And so that kind of helped the SPY and everything else just kind of float up and the IWM kind of recover, right? And it's amazing how that works. And so we'll see if that tool's right. We still got, a ways to go before we have that meeting. So it is something else to watch out for and everything. But again, tomorrow's loaded with news. So it'll be super volatile. Today it was just like we were in the same range for a long time. I took my son to a movie, came back. Qs were sitting in the exact same spot. They had done some moving, but just sitting in the exact same spot. And the SPY took over once all the gamma squeeze started taking hold, okay? And so, again, we'll see what happens tomorrow. Obviously, you'll be closed on Thanksgiving, which, of course, I will not have a video on. I may be back Friday. We'll see, but I don't see a video. And then Saturday, I'll have the video ready for you. And then Sunday, to set up the week, and we'll be going into the new month and stuff. So again, please hit the like and subscribe button if you got anything out of this, guys. Really appreciate it. If you want to sign up for the Black Friday sale, click the link down the bottom. Again, I'll go over it Saturday, all the details of what it is. But if you want to renew, when you click on that link, you'll see it. It'll tell you the date your renewal kicks in. And if you want to be new, start off with the plus. If you don't wait for Saturday's video, start off with the plus and see where it goes from there, because you can always upgrade. So anyway, hope you got something out of it, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.